world in his hand. Got the whole world in his hand. Got the whole world in his hand. Where the fuck is my shit at? Hi, everybody. Thanks so much for tuning in to our nightly Wake and Bake News at 7 p.m. I'm your host, Moxie. And tonight I have 11 clips ready for you. And so, here we are. And I haven't had a bong hit yet today. I want to have a bong hit sooner than later. So I'm warming up the bong right now. Can you guys hear me? Is it okay? Am I talking loud enough? Because I really need a bong hit. I haven't had a bong hit all day long. And a bong hit sounds real good right now. So, my plan is to do a bong hit. In space! And we have this lovely little dab to go into the lovely little bong. Fill up, you piece of shit! Oh, I hate you so much. Ah. This freaking bong is hot. It's really freaking hot right now. Really freaking hot. I have to wait for just a minute. Because I don't want to burn my lungs. In the process of sharing a dab with you. Got the whole world in his lungs. He's got the whole world in his lungs. He's got the whole wide world in his lungs. What is wrong with you people? Still too hot. Okay, I'm ready. Oh, this looks good. This looks good. Wow. Woo! Okay. Where were we? Okay, so Discord, people have been telling us that we should be using the Discord for almost as long as we've been doing live shows. So, obviously some people don't think the Discord is just for gamers. We've been, and Craig is working on it. It's, there's baby steps. It takes time to get all this stuff in place and figure out what works and what doesn't work, and what works for you guys and what doesn't work. So it's still a learning process, people. This is only show 71 of the year. of 2020, according to Craig. Got the whole world in his lungs. Okay, well, I guess we'll play a video. So I have a video about the University of Washington analysis is saying that they are, they're projecting that there's going to be 60% fewer deaths than have been projected in Washington state due to the COVID-19 outbreak. And in my opinion, since they're saying 60%, it's probably considerably higher than that. It's probably more like 85%, and they just don't want to give the people the impression that there's really nothing to worry about. So they're saying, well, it's like a 50-50 chance right now. But you know what I'm saying? So I think that, as I was saying from the beginning of this, if you guys can just hang on for a couple more weeks, we'll get through it. We always do. We'll get through it. I'm telling you. We always get through it, people. We always do. Don't you know?
Researchers at the University of Washington have been looking at these latest numbers. New models suggest our state's cases could plateau as early as May 10th. The analysis also lowers the total projected deaths by 60% from 1,600 to 632. But they warn the only way we can keep this up is if we maintain social distancing through the end of May. Right now, Governor Inslee's stay-home order is set to expire May 4th.
Sometimes life can be a little overwhelming. Sometimes the weight of the world can be too much to bear. Sometimes you need to stop worrying and take a deep breath. Sometimes you need cannabis. Introducing Brightside, high-quality cannabis delivered right to your door. Brightside offers an extensive menu of strains and products to meet your needs. Choose the experience you want, and we'll send you the dankest herb, the real sticky icky, some top-shelf marijuana. If you like what we send you, keep the whole jar. We'll even include some nugs for you to blaze. As part of Discovery, you'll get to try new strains and products. Side effects may include euphoria, increased appetite, uncontrollable giggles, elevated sensitivity to musical dopeness, and reduced anxiety. Tetrahydrocannabinol may also induce feelings of existential well-being and relentless optimism. With a Brightside subscription, you can get it once a month, once a week, or whenever you want, all at a price you'll like. And yes, this is a real company.
Do you know who I am?
You're the wizard.
Ask your doctor if cannabis is right for you. It probably is. Keep it Brightside.
I don't know what that is. I am back, baby. And we are doing this, and we're doing it live, and we're keeping a positive attitude, whether you like it or not. Where did that come from? Ugh. I got my bright side, trust me. I do. All day, every day, baby. You can count on that one fact to be true from day until tomorrow and the next day and all the days that come after that. You can count on that one thing. I got my bright side, and I always will. In his hand, got the bright side in his hand. And I thought that honestly, that clip about the University of Washington analysis talking about how they expect much less death than they were telling us is very telling, and that again, people have been talking. You hear the callers on the show, and they talk about, when we have callers, often they talk about that this is some kind of a planned economic collapse. And, if this death thing is like 85% less than they've been telling us that it is. And I have a clip from Tucker where Tucker's talking about how the pneumonia deaths have dropped off to nothing compared to what they usually would be this time of year. And that he says, Tucker's saying that a bunch of the pneumonia deaths are being lumped into the COVID. So, if it's way less than they're saying, right? If the COVID is way less as the death of the COVID, then we're looking at this again, this economic collapse thing, where it's a planned deal, and they're actually this is what they want, is they want the economic collapse, because the people with the money then just scoop everything up. They make mass amounts of money. Besides the fact that the government just fucking gave them like $5 trillion. Oh, here you go. You need money to scoop everything up with? Here you go. Here's money. Here, you got plenty of money to do whatever you want. Go scoop everything up now. That's the way it works. That's who Donald Trump is. And this is the problem with having a fucking idiot in charge who doesn't really want to be that involved. Is that the scumbags who plan shit like this figure, oh, now's the perfect time. We got a fucking idiot in charge. We can pull this shit off. Let's do it. So, and this is what it all boils down to. This is what this entire COVID-19 lesson boils down to, is that if we do not close down all of these bioweapons labs around the world, we deserve to die. And soon. This species deserves to go extinct, because you have had a warning. You will not get another warning. Okay? Just keep building things that are designed to kill half the population or more. Just keep building them with your tax dollars. You've been warned, okay? You can sit on your fucking asses and do nothing about it, or you can try and figure out how to shut this shit down around the world. So we don't have to worry about the fucking idiots in the Pentagon or the fucking idiots anywhere else around the world. Because this is a fucking idiot's bullshit project right here. And it's being financed with your tax dollars. And I'm tired. I'm tired of all the evil that comes out of this fucking country. And it's all done in the name of fucking money. Okay? I'm so tired of money being the only thing that matters. Ugh. I'm gonna have to get another bong hit. I'll be right back.
After a tiger at the Bronx Zoo tested positive for COVID-19, we wanted to know if there could be problems ahead for other zoos. KIRO 7 South Sound reporter Shelby Miller talked to experts at the Point Defiance Zoo in Tacoma.
The tiger at the Bronx Zoo was tested after she and 5 other tigers and lions started to get a dry cough. They're doing well and they're expected to recover. But here at the Point Defiance Zoo, they're now taking extra steps to keep their big cats safe. This is Nadia. She's a 4-year-old Malayan tiger at the Bronx Zoo who just tested positive for COVID-19.
The big cats at the Bronx Zoo, according to the USDA, were exhibiting upper respiratory symptoms, which are the primary symptoms with a COVID-19 infection in a person.
The USDA says a Bronx zookeeper infected the tiger. Charlie Powell works for WSU's News College of Veterinary Medicine. He explains how a person spreads the virus to a big cat.
So how does that happen? The virus comes in, it infects the cat because the cat's cells have receptors on it that allow that virus to bind and invade that cell.
The news out of New York inspired the Point Defiance Zoo to reevaluate how they're caring for their tigers.
Should staff be wearing masks now when working around the cats? Should staff be social distancing? Because sometimes we get much closer than 6 feet away, so we want to look at that. We are going to probably increase our hand washing around the cats.
Point Defiance Zoo's 3 Sumatran tigers are being monitored closely. Right now, they're not showing symptoms. The positive test at the Bronx Zoo also raises questions about domestic cats. Doctors say you can give coronavirus to your pet, so if you're showing symptoms, try to stay away. So far, veterinarians say the good news is both big cats and house cats don't seem to get as sick as humans.
In the big picture right now, this is a very small footnote to it, but it's something that we will continue to observe.
And finally, there's no proof your cat can spread COVID-19 to a person.
I personally have a cat. I'm going to go home and pet my cat this evening.
As you can see, the Point Defiance Zoo is closed. It's been that way since March 14th, and it'll stay that way until further notice. But many vets in the area are working, and you can give them a call if you have any questions with your pet and COVID-19. Reporting in Tacoma, Shelby Miller, KIRO 7 News.
Just
Year-old Sean was posing for a picture in front of an animal enclosure when a full-size Siberian tiger lunges at the glass. The family says Sean was...
All right, so as I was saying before we were so rudely interrupted, I am so tired of the good people's hard-earned resources going to waste, making evil around the world. I'm so tired of the good people's hard-earned resources going to give breaks to billionaires. I'm tired of it. I mean, and maybe the problem is that you just have to accept these things and move on and deal with what is. Deal with what you can deal with, because you're never going to get the tax breaks away from the billionaires. But if we had a representative government, a true representative government, they'd be asking questions about these manufacturing bioweapons labs. They'd be asking questions about why we're giving breaks to people that billionaires. Why on earth would we give breaks to billionaires? Makes no sense. None. They have everything already. People can't wait to bow down and give them everything that they fucking can. Why would we want to do that? Why would we want to give them our hard-earned resources, which they've already stolen as much as they could? The oil, the natural gas, everything they can steal from us, that's ours, belongs to us. They steal it, and then they dole it back out to us in the most tiniest little amounts and charge the most money they possibly can for it. We deserve better. We deserve to actually be represented. We deserve to have politicians who say, this is done. This is unsustainable. This doesn't work for the masses. The masses are what really matter. The masses. Why is there no politician saying the masses are what truly have the power? All we have to do is do this thing where we sit down and we have all the power. Hello, caller.
Greetings, Mike.
Hi, Jackie Cat.
It's me. I have a story.
Right on. I love your stories. Your stories are the best.
Thank you. It's a strange story. I heard the news about the tiger this morning. Saw the clippy. And, I had been thinking about this. I'm pretty sure that there's a fairly decent chance I was actually exposed to this virus. Might have actually had the virus. And I was thinking, when I was homesick for about a week, and it was rough, and my cat was sitting on my bed with me the whole time, especially at night when I'm sleeping or trying to sleep, and I'm coughing and coughing and coughing. Well, maybe a day or two after I went back to work, the cat got sick. And he didn't cough. That would have been kind of cute in a sad way if he did. But he didn't cough, but he was clearly sick. He clearly had a fever. He had diarrhea. And he was wheezing. Like he was laying on the bed, like looking sick, and he was actually like, kind of like I was doing. And, it never occurred to me at the time. It never crossed my mind that he could have gotten sick from me.
Yeah.
And the vet didn't have any idea what it was. They did some x-rays. I don't think they said anything about the cat's lungs.
Yeah.
Said he had intestinal gas. They really didn't have any clue what it could have been. They gave him some generic, a painkiller to make him more comfortable. And I think it was an antibiotic. And, in a couple of days he was okay.
Yeah,
but
that's good.
Don't know what that was about. But that's what's going on down here in Florida.
Well, in the story, I don't know if it was, I have another story about the tiger who got sick, and they talk about how, how the tiger probably got it from one of the handlers, and then they say, but the animals can't transmit the virus to humans, and all I can think is if the humans can transmit it to the tigers, then why can't the tigers transmit it to the humans? I don't get that.
I think it's not proven that cats could give it to humans.
Yeah.
But I don't think there's a good rational reason to rule it out.
Yeah. Well, I'm just saying they automatically like to say, that you can't. Dogs can't.
Well, yeah. You mean kind of like how they told us that, like, you can't wear masks. That's no good.
Yeah. Well.
Yeah. So.
So when were you sick, Shug?
Well, let's see. It was probably about 4 weeks ago.
Okay.
And I was out for a week. That was really rough. And I was, and at the time, I did know about the virus thing. And so I was particularly cautious.
Yeah.
But not to the point I would be now, But I stayed home longer than I ever have stayed home for a cold or flu. And I was super careful when I went back to work. I sure wish I had worn a mask. I sure wish I had. I didn't know about that at the time.
Yeah.
But, it was pretty rough. And there was one particular night that I honestly thought, like, maybe I should really consider going to the emergency room. And that's really unusual for me, so...
Yeah. Well, when you
I'm just saying it's interesting. And, where I live is Palm Beach County, Florida.
Mm-hmm. And
Palm Beach County, we are number one.
Oh, you guys have the number one rating for the COVID?
In Florida. And I understand there's been some buzzing that there was a center of an outbreak at the Polo Club shops, which is, where I was hanging out working and stuff. So it makes you wonder,
Yeah.
I sure wish they had an antibody test. The news was terrible today about the antibody test. It's not working right.
Yeah, I would stay. I mean, unless you have to go to the doctor, I would just stay the fuck away right now.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
There's just nothing they're going to do for you anyway.
Yeah. This is pretty much the response that I always get, unless it's something basic like a broken limb or something, or you need some stitches. It's like, oh, well, we don't know what causes this, but we can give you this medication and we think it will help, And it's like, fuck, get away.
Well, I was thinking, you have a viewer named Wonky Sanga, and he had put out a video some time ago. He has really interesting videos. He put out a video not so long ago where he said, it's kind of a sick, twisted thing, but you almost want to get this thing sooner than later, because if you did need hospitalization, the hospital wouldn't be overrun yet.
Hmm.
And you'd be the first one over it. You wouldn't have to worry about it. So I'm thinking, well, I wouldn't have opted for that, but, you know, I think it could be. It could well be.
Well, I think that makes sense, but
But, you know, I'm alive.
yeah,
I'm
I mean, no,
alive.
and not just alive, you're feeling much, much better. That's what
Oh,
really
I sure am.
Yeah.
I sure am. And let me tell you, the last 2 weeks that I've spent at home, just because I refused to put up with nonsense anymore, because I knew how serious it was, has been really good for me.
Yeah, well, that's what Craig keeps saying. Craig keeps saying, you know, I could get used to this.
Yeah. Well, you know, it's not the worst thing in some respects, you know.
I understand. This is pretty much nothing's changed for me. I just go to the grocery store less. You know, that's it.
Yeah, well.
I mean, see, I've been practicing social distancing pretty much. I'm pretty good at it. I've been practicing it for like 20 years, so.
Yeah, I don't do it that much, but I'm finding that I'm taking to it rather well.
Yeah, no, I'm very good at it. I've been, like I said, I've been practicing it forever, and you know, it's not my favorite thing in the world because you know you'll be somewhere and there'll be cool people and they'll be like, hey man, you want to have a puff? And you're like, I don't swap spit with people that I'm not fucking.
Oh man,
so.
that's a thing of the past, I think, right now.
Yeah.
Huh? That's not happening.
Yeah. Well, I mean that's how it used, but I mean that's how it used to be for me, and I'd be like, I really wish I could, but no.
Gosh, you know, I hadn't thought about that, Mike, but like that might be kind of a thing of the past now. You get together with your friends, you roll a joint, and everybody passes it around.
Everybody's got to roll their own joints now.
I guess so. Oh, geez. Well, we better get something going here where everybody can plant their own. That's gonna be.
Gotta pull all your money out of the rolling paper stocks.
That's right. All right, sweetie. I'll let you go for now.
Hey, well, I'm really glad you got to share a story with us, and I'm really glad that you're feeling better, Jackie Cat, and I'm really glad to hear your super sweet voice. So.
Oh, thanks so much.
I look forward to talking again soon.
Sweetie.
Okay.
Yes, you will. Okay, bye-bye.
Bye. That's our buddy from Florida, Jackie Cat. And sounds like she's making the most of her stay healthy quarantine time, which I highly recommend. You make them, or at least not make the most of it. You guys don't have to do anything. Just try and relax and enjoy. Try and catch up on your sleep. If you have a list of stuff that you wish you could be making happen, then try and pull that list out and see how many things you can check off of it. You know? Other than that, just try and take it easy and make the most of the time that you have right now. And you know, the curve is flattening from what I understand. So stay cool, and we'll get through it. If you lose your cool, then you may never come back to cool again. So stay cool, and we'll get through it. Okay, so that's our buddy Jackie Cat one more time. Thanks for calling, Jackie Cat. It's so nice she does have a lovely voice, doesn't she? It just kind of tickles my ear, you know. I really like it. So, as I was saying, Japan announced a state of emergency. Wisconsin is voting today, and Donald Trump was making a thing out of that at his press conference, saying, you know, they didn't want to vote until I endorse someone from Moxie. How can it be from Moxie? Hello, caller.
Michael.
Hey, Pete. How are you doing, bro?
I'm good, buddy. How you doing?
I'm good. I am good.
Dude, I'm with you with this social distancing thing. It's like second nature to me.
Yeah.
My life has changed very little as a result of all this shit. I'm still going to work. You know, all my hobbies are very individual hobbies, by the way, or at least they can be. Playing guitar,
skateboarding,
art, skateboarding, and playing video games.
Yeah.
All hobbies you can enjoy by yourself or safely within the distance of 6 feet of somebody else.
Yeah, but it's hard to chase tail. That's like your favorite thing, I thought.
Yeah, I can do without it, Mike. I really can, honestly.
It just makes a guy crazy.
Yeah, I don't know. Not me. I can do without it.
Well,
I
good.
need the marijuana and the alcohol. That's what I need.
A man has got to have priorities, damn it.
Yeah, I could do this fucking shit all day, bro. No problem. I'm never gonna get the COVID.
Are you staying? Are you working still? Are you going to work? Did you go to work this week? Or are you working at home?
I'm still working every day. I'm coming in less. I have to come in to make like lab batches and stuff.
Did you go in this week?
Yeah, I'm going in tomorrow.
But not yet?
I've been going in, yeah. I went in today. I didn't go in the day before, but when I do go in, I'm like, I don't have any social interaction really. I'm the only person in my office. There's only like 5 people that work in my office, and we all kind of coordinate as to when one person's going to be there. So there's only really one person in there at a time, 2 at the most, and we're within a good distance. And, when I'm in the hallways, I'm not, really too close to people. There's like, the one big thing is like my office at work is actually right next to a cafeteria, which is at first was freaking me the fuck out because that's where fucking everyone congregates, right? But I guess my work's been doing a pretty good job about like the distancing. So like every table at the cafeteria is only, the tables are like, about 10 feet long, and you're only allowed 2 people at a table, and they have to sit at opposite ends of the table, and each table is like 6 feet apart, and they have to do this whole fucking break schedule where everyone, has to go on break at just the right time, so there's not too many people at the break room at once and all this shit. So I'm honestly not too worried about it at my work. I work at a small company, and we're doing a pretty good job of, keeping everyone apart. So
yeah, awesome. Sounds like things are going good in Rhode Island.
Yeah, it's not too bad here. We're anyone with a fucking New York or Massachusetts license plate will pull your ass right the fuck over and be like, "You're in fucking quarantine, bitch. Beat it."
Yeah, I saw something today. The Texas cops are pulling people over who have out-of-state license plates, and they're like taking their temperature and telling them to fucking quarantine themselves now.
Oh yeah, dude, my work is getting on. They're working on getting one of those infrared temperature guns like they have in China, so they can see just by looking at you if your temperature's high.
Yeah. Yeah, Craig's trying to figure out. He does a lot of security cameras, and he does. They have these infrared cameras. A lot of the companies, and he's trying to figure out why his main company isn't focusing on the infrared cameras that take temperatures and stuff on people, or can see that kind of thing. He's confused about that.
Yeah, dude, that's pretty badass. That's like some fucking T-1000 shit.
Yeah, he's very on top of the technology, man. His dad calls him the gadget guy.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
Since he was like 12.
Yeah, that sounds like Craig. Were you going to play Craig's clip about the funny black guy talking to Siri about the COVID?
No, it's got some weird markings on it, and I don't want to get into some... I do not have the option to get any kind of copyright issue. If we get any copyright issue at this point, because of the stupid fucking bullshit with the guidelines violation when I live streamed one of the impeachment hearing trials, the Ukraine ambassador fucking talking to the world, the C-SPAN cameras live, the same cameras every news organization in the world was using because they were the only cameras available. When I do it, it's a violation of guidelines. And now I have a permanent strike so that if I get anything, if anything fucking happens, they take away the ability to live stream. So no, I don't want to mess around with stuff that's questionable for just because it's funny. And it's a good clip. I love it. You should put a link in the fucking chat room. But no, I don't want to fuck with that shit. Look, I got priorities, okay? And the priority is that we're able to come out here and touch bases with you guys, which I love doing, and to you know, put that you know, to put that in jeopardy just because. I mean, I can argue about a news clip. This is news. This is news about the fucking plague that we're all experiencing. News is there. It's fair use. It's meant to be disseminated. I don't give a fuck if you have a problem with COVID-19. YouTube. Okay? But this other stuff is someone's, you know, comedy. And I don't want to fucking go, oh yeah, that's fucking brilliant. Which it is. And you know, it's a great find by Craig. And I wish it was easy to just fucking, you know, do that, but it puts everything in jeopardy, and I'm not willing to make that happen for a fucking quick laugh.
Yeah, we don't want to risk your streaming, Mike. We don't want that. But yeah, I mean, you do always have C-SPAN Junkie as the backup channel, though. You know,
yeah, C-SPAN Junkie has fucking 7,000 subscribers. And this channel has 118,000 subscribers, and if we're lucky, we can get 40 viewers. So, you know, I don't want to go over to the C-SPAN Junkie channel. And this archive has 11,000 plus videos in it. You know, you have to be very protective of that. You know.
Yeah, I understand.
I mean, the work is of value. The work is truly of value to all humanity. I mean, you know, it's been a little different lately because we're doing this live show stuff. But the 11,000 videos is of value to all humanity, and I, you know, I want to try and make sure that it sticks around as long as possible.
Oh, I completely understand. Yeah. By any chance, do you have any extra triggering videos for me tonight? Because I know you have such a great eye for great triggering videos. I would love to see the play something.
Well, I have Donald Trump today talking about the Secretary of the Navy resigning after firing the commander of the USS Theodore Roosevelt, the aircraft carrier, which had 5,000 people on board it and had COVID-19 cases breaking out left and right. And they fired him for writing a letter demanding that his sailors be fucking taken off the ship immediately. You know, in order to protect, you know, he wrote a letter saying we're not at war. There's no reason these sailors should be dying. And they fired him for it. And today the Secretary of the Navy resigned because he says it's become too much of a controversy. But it's fucking bitch boy Donald Trump who fucking fired him. And he made it really clear in this video where he talks during his press conference today, and he talks about how the Secretary of the Navy is such a good guy. He's a really good man. Fuck you.
I heard about that. He was fucking talking so much shit. He was really hating on that guy, calling him an idiot and all this shit. It's like, dude, he's just looking out for his soldiers. It's not like he's a fucking dishonorable fucking Russian agent or anything. You know what I mean? What the fuck? You know?
Yeah. I mean, it's a major thing too, to be like, I mean, the commander of a vessel like that, and then have that taken away from you. You know?
Yeah, when you're the commander of a vessel like that, you're supposed to look after your crew, and that's exactly what the fuck he did.
Right.
He was doing his fucking job.
Yeah, I agree, Pete.
I don't get it.
And this clip that I have from Donald Trump's press conference earlier today makes very clear that he supports the decision to fire that commander. And in my opinion, it's not that he supported it; it's that he made that decision. You fire that piece of shit. And and then this fucking dickhole mealy mouth piece of garbage, a Secretary of the Navy, fucking falls on his sword so that he can say, oh, that's the end of it, you know. But it's not the end of it, nor it should it be. And Donald Trump's, oh, he's such a good man. Fuck you, and fuck that piece of shit, and fuck you for hiring a piece of shit like that, and then talking him up. I fucking despise Donald Trump more than ever at this moment, so we're clear. Any other questions, Pete?
No. I would like to see the clip if you have it.
Yeah, I have that clip. I'll play it for you in a minute.
Please, I'd love to see it. I think I probably already saw it, though.
Yeah.
Piece of garbage.
Yeah.
Jack and Coke, Mike?
Huh? No, thanks.
Yeah.
Hey, I got another caller, Pete. So I'm glad to hear from you. I'm glad to hear things are going good where you are, and that the social networking has. What's that?
That's fine.
Well, no, I want to play the clip.
problem.
I want to play the clip for you too, but I'm not able to play the clip until I get the other caller and stuff. So, you know, I'm trying to push through what we got to push through in order to make happen what I can for you.
All right.
Unless you had something to add.
No, not really.
All right. Well, I'm glad to hear that you're doing good, and I look forward to talking again soon. Okay.
You as well, Mike. Hey, don't touch your face. All right. Don't touch your dick.
Hey, don't tell me that.
You can blow me, blow your dad, eat out your mom, finger your sister, and praise Allah. Have a nice day.
Good to hear from you. Good to hear from you. That's our buddy Pete in Rhode Island, and it sounds like things are going well where he is at. The social distancing is not be giving him a hard time, nor I. I'm, like I said, I'm very good at social distancing. Been doing it a long time. Hello, caller.
Hello.
Hello.
It's Dolly from Florida. Thank you.
Hey, Dolly.
Yes, I was mentioning about it would be wonderful. Doesn't take too much of a brain, you know, to televise this on national television, putting, you know, teachers on to teach the kids at home. That would go for, you know, kindergarten up to the college.
Sure,
Could they do that? Wouldn't that be a great idea? And moms and dads can see what they're teaching our kids.
Yeah, well, that's basically what they're doing now, only they're doing it on the internet.
Yes, I understand that, but a lot of people don't have an internet. A lot of people don't even have a computer, Mike.
Yeah, well, if you have children, you know, I mean, it's kind of almost mandatory now. If you have school-age children, it's like you kind of have to have it. And there's a lot of programs in place if you're poor in order to help make that happen for you, so.
I see. Well, I just thought it'd be a good idea. It's still there,
I think it's a very good idea. I think that they should, honestly, I think that colleges should put basically all of their stuff online, and I like the idea of it on television, because like you said, there might be people who don't have, internet, and if they could, be able to see classes and enjoy classes and learn, all this important information that people pay, whatever, thousands and thousands of dollars to learn. I think that would just be beneficial to everyone.
I think so too. Thank you for agreeing. But maybe we can find a way to do it. I don't know any other way, but I appreciate that you're letting the people voice their opinions and asking questions. You're a sweetheart. You're a godsend.
Right on. Well, this is Dolly, right?
Dolly, yes. Yeah, my name is Dolly.
And so have you been watching the show for a while?
Yes, I have.
Oh, well, thanks very much for calling. We haven't talked before, right?
No, you haven't.
Yeah.
No.
Well, thanks a lot for calling. And you're calling from Florida, is that correct?
Pardon me?
Florida?
Yes, I am from Florida.
And are you? And so, what are you experiencing in Florida, Dolly?
Pardon me?
Well, what are you experiencing as far as the whole shelter in place and all that kind of stuff? Is your life changed a lot?
Well, To be honest with you, Mike, I'm having a hard time getting every word you're saying.
Oh, okay.
I'm on a land phone.
Yeah.
So I'm not on an iPhone or a cell phone.
Sure.
And sorry about that.
It's all
I
good.
didn't quite get every word you said.
Yeah, it's all good. I was just asking you what it is that you're experiencing in Florida as far as the whole plague thing is going.
Oh, it's bad, Mike, as it is all over. Only one can hope and pray, that people will be safe and they'll, just listen to what, Donald Trump has to say. I don't know if you're a fan of his, but I don't think it matters. He's still our president.
Yeah.
And I think they should listen to the medical and the science part of it. Very, very important. I understand that they had another doctor on Mark Schwarzenberg, I guess that's his name, on Facebook. And him and his wife are on Facebook as a special. And they had, another doctor giving an opinion on the coronavirus. And I thought it'd be a good idea, which I did text back and tell him that, I think that Donald Trump, his medical staff, could use another great doctor. It'd be great if they can get together and work on it. Like our Congress, Mike. Joke.
I have so little hope that they'll make anything ever happen,
No.
I despise those people at this point. But I think if people just use common sense, and I keep telling people, when you're not sure what to do, just say to yourself, better safe than sorry, and whatever that means, however that applies to that situation, use that as your common sense guideline,
Very well, very well. Very well said, Michael, and I appreciate it. And thank you so much, Michael, for taking my call.
Hey, Dolly, I'm really glad you called. I very much look forward to talking to you again soon, okay?
I hope so, Michael. You take care and be safe.
Okay, you too, Dolly.
Okay, sweetheart.
Thanks for calling.
Good night.
Bye-bye. And Dolly from Florida. And apparently Amazon has donated 8,200 laptops to Seattle Public Elementary families. That, again, like I said, there's a lot of programs if you need computers, and these were donated. From what I understand, these were given to the families. They don't have to give them back, and I thought that was pretty cool. And hopefully that will make a difference for the kids being able to be online and get whatever kind of schooling is still in place, because the people around here are pretty good at doing the online stuff, so there ought to be a pretty good system set up for that, as far as I would guess. And it's really not a guess. They've been talking about it for weeks and even maybe a month now, so they ought to have it pretty well in place. So, let's see. I have, the Trump, okay, so I have Secretary of Navy resigns clip, right? And then I will play the Trump clip from his press conference that I was just telling Pete about, which totally triggered me today and made me have to fucking post it. So, here you go. Here is the Secretary of Navy resigning.
In the meantime, though, let's move on to some of the other news that we're following. I mentioned that the acting Secretary of the Navy has resigned. Thomas Modly is his name. His resignation comes after audio leaked of Modly calling the former commander of the USS Theodore Roosevelt too stupid or too naive to run the ship. Captain Brett Crozier was relieved from command after raising concerns about COVID-19 spreading on his ship. He went outside of his chain of command to do that, and that was not in keeping with the Navy's values, according to Modly, who fired him. Anonymous sources have confirmed to the New York Times Crozier himself has tested positive for the coronavirus. Seems well liked among the sailors on that ship. He was cheered off the ship as he was relieved of command. As we continue to await this news conference at the White House, let's...
Okay, and now here is the clip with from Donald Trump's press conference this afternoon, where he makes clear, in my opinion, that by saying that the Secretary of Navy, very good man, he's such a good man, and then you'll note that he never says the commander of this ship, who had 5,000 people on his aircraft carrier. 5,000 people in the tightest quarters you can imagine. No social distancing, no option. 5,000 people on a ship. He never once said he was a good man. He never once acted like he was fighting to protect his soldiers, his sailors. Donald Trump, never once. He made it clear that at the very least he supports it, but in my opinion, it was his idea to fire this Air Force, this Navy captain of the Air Force carrier, the USS Roosevelt. It was Donald Trump's order, came down from the top, guaranteed.
Top of the line, Steve, please.
The acting Navy Secretary submitted his resignation today, Moodley. Why did that become necessary, and what role did you have in this, sir?
Well, I had no role in it. I've heard, I don't know him, but I've heard he was a very good man, and the whole thing was a very unfortunate. The captain should not have written a letter. He didn't have to be Ernest Hemingway. He made a mistake, but he had a bad day, and I hate seeing bad things happen. Man made a mistake. But, you shouldn't be writing letters, and you're in the military. You're the captain of a great ship, and you shouldn't be writing letters and sending them to many people, and then it gets out to the media. And, the question is, how did it get out to the media? So there's a lot of bad things happened there. And I had heard he did because he didn't want to cause any disturbance for our country. So that was because he wouldn't have had to resign. I would not have asked him. I don't know him. I didn't speak to him, but he did that, I think, just to end that problem. And I think in really many ways that was a very unselfish thing for him to do.
What should happen now to Commander Crozier, who left?
Well, they're going to look at that. I think the Secretary of Defense, as you know, is Mark Esper, and he's very capable. And I think he's looking at that right now. They're going to just take it under regular Navy channels to see what they want to do. But he made a mistake, but he shouldn't have done that. And your secretary probably shouldn't have said quite what he said. He didn't have to resign, but he felt it would be better for the country. So I think it will end it quickly. Yeah,
so, Mr. President, a couple on the economic front.
So that clip, Pete was talking about, you got a clip to trigger me. That clip definitely triggered me today. I was like, what the fuck? I mean, I was in the kitchen and Craig was listening to the speech. I'm just like, what the fuck? I was so triggered. That guy, the commander of that Air Force carrier, the aircraft carrier, was a hero. And someone mentioned that the recording that the sailors made, and I played that clip for you last night. I don't have it tonight because I've already recorded over. I mean, I have it, but I can go get it, but it would take a couple of minutes to find it and everything. But that clip from last night where the sailors were talking about, the sailors literally during listening to the Secretary of the Navy talk about why they fired the captain of the Air Force aircraft carrier Theodore Roosevelt. The sailors who were recording it while they were listening to her, like literally exactly what I said. What the fuck? And I played that clip for you last night. This is what I'm saying. I want to make clear. And the reason I want it to be clear that Donald Trump is obviously behind all of this bullshit is because that what the fuck should be right on top of Donald Trump, not the Secretary of the Navy who's fallen, who clearly is a piece of garbage that would never put himself into harm's way to protect any of us, unlike all of those sailors. You know, and that captain, the letter he wrote said, "We are not at a time of war. There is no reason these sailors have to die. Let us dock and get them off this ship." And for that he got fired because he's trying to protect his sailors. Okay? And Donald Trump not once said he's a good man. He couldn't hesitate. The first words out of his mouth about the acting Secretary of the Navy, piece of shit, was what a great man he is. Oh, he's such a good man. He's a fucking piece of garbage who can't stand up in front of the fucking cameras and fucking take his medicine. You know, you can because you don't care. You've been doing it since you were 5 years old. The whole completely fucking full of shit. You know? So whatever, yeah, I'm full of shit. It doesn't matter. You know? I'm just going to go ahead with my bullshit. That's who Donald Trump is. The real good man was the guy who was trying to protect his 5,000 sailors. And who is the Secretary of the Navy trying to protect? Not the 5,000 sailors. Who's the Secretary of the Navy trying to protect? Which fucking lame-ass piece of shit is the Secretary of the Navy trying to protect? Huh? Huh? Oompa Loompa. President Oompa Loompa. You got it. Ding, 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 ding. You guys are too smart. I can't get anything past you. And yes, I am still triggered by the fucking acting Secretary of the Navy, piece of shit, firing a good man in a command that he worked really hard to get, no doubt. And then going in front of those sailors that this captain of the Air Force aircraft carrier Theodore Roosevelt protected, going in front of them and bad-mouthing that captain. Okay? And then Donald Trump doing the same thing again in this press conference by talking about what a good guy the Secretary of Defense is and how that captain shouldn't have been doing what he was doing. Nope, that's not, fuck you, Donald Trump. He shouldn't have been trying to protect the 5,000 sailors under his command. Is that what you're trying to say, you fucking piece of shit? He should have just been covering his own ass like you and the Secretary of the Navy. Fucking garbage. In case we're not clear on whether or not I support Donald Trump. Fuck Donald Trump. Fuck you, Donald J. Trump. Not even man enough to fucking lick that guy's fucking shoes. That's who you are, Donald Trump. Not even man enough to lick his fucking shoes. That's who the president of these United States, the commander-in-chief of the most powerful army in the fucking world, isn't fit to lick the fucking soles of that guy's fucking shoes. Doesn't that disgust any of you? And Joe Biden isn't any fucking better. And this is what we get. Over and over and over and over and over in the land of fucking bullshit. I need a goddamn bong hit. How many times do I gotta tell you people I need a goddamn bong hit? Let's see. Japan has issued a national state of emergency. And Japan doesn't do that all willy-nilly like the United States does, because in case you guys don't know, ever since the day of September 11th, 2001, every single fucking day since then, the United States has been in a perpetual state national emergency, in case you don't know that.
We start here in Japan, where the government is stepping up its response to the coronavirus pandemic. The Prime Minister has officially declared a month-long state of emergency for Tokyo, Osaka, and 5 other prefectures to curb the spread of infections. Abe Shinzo held a news conference Tuesday night to explain the decision, which will affect tens of millions of people. He began by thanking healthcare workers across the country who've dealt with more than 4,300 cases so far.
Medical workers are at risk of infection, but they're doing their best despite the serious situation. We want to do whatever we can to support and protect them.
The declaration covers the following prefectures: Tokyo, Kanagawa, Saitama, Chiba, Osaka, Hyogo, and Fukuoka. It'll be in place until May 6th. The governors of these prefectures can now enact measures on their own to counter the virus. Abe says he's concerned about the situation in Tokyo, which has a quarter of all confirmed infections at around 1,200. He says at the current pace, the capital will see over 80,000 cases in a month.
According to experts, if all of us help to reduce person-to-person contact by at least 70%, and preferably 80%, the infections will peak and start to decline in 2 weeks.
Abe again called on residents to stay home and avoid non-essential outings for a month.
We all must behave as if we have already contracted the virus. We want everyone, especially younger people, to act based on that assumption.
He reiterated his administration will not impose a lockdown as some foreign governments have. Abe says he'll try to minimize the impact on economic and social activities. Public transportation and supermarkets will remain open. He also said the government will pass a $1 trillion financial package. Abe says the unprecedented stimulus amounts to about 1/5 of Japan's GDP. The Prime Minister says he's confident Japan can overcome this hardship as it did after the March 2011 earthquake and tsunami. People in the areas covered by the state of emergency have had mixed reactions to the declaration.
Despite the spread of infection, the government has been reluctant to declare a state of emergency. I feel like it's a bit late.
I'm a new employee and really worried about what will happen in the future.
I think a state of emergency is necessary, and I will definitely cooperate.
Opposition lawmakers are in favor of the government move, but say the measures are too little, too late.
It is clear that the infection has spread because of slow responses to the outbreak in the initial stages. The Abe administration, as well as the Tokyo government, should realize that they are responsible for not having enough awareness of the impending crisis.
It's appropriate to urge people more strongly to stay at home. If the government declares a state of emergency, it should compensate people. It's a pressing issue.
The opposition camp is likely to demand the government increase compensation payments to people being affected financially. Now, Tokyo Governor Koike Yuriko spoke shortly after the emergency declaration. She announced plans to significantly reduce the number of places where crowds can gather starting this weekend.
On Friday, we want to announce what kind of facilities should close or reduce operations, and then start the measure on Saturday. We'll be watching whether our stay-at-home request proves effective.
Officials are considering universities, department stores, shopping malls, bars, and internet cafes as part of the plan. Officials in Tokyo confirmed 80 new cases of the virus on Tuesday. Koike warns the number of infections in the capital could explode at any moment. She again called on residents to play their part.
Stay home. Please stay home as much as possible. Please refrain from going out unless it's essential. And if you do go out, avoid closed, crowded places and close contact settings.
More than 60 countries and regions have already declared a state of emergency. Here's what it means in Japan. People in areas subject to the declaration will be asked to stay at home, but it's only a request and not mandatory. Public transit will not be stopped because it's deemed an essential service. Supermarkets and stores selling food, medicine, and necessary daily goods will also stay open. Italy, France, and other countries have imposed strict curfews by law, with violators subject to fines. In Japan, there will be no such penalties. Private companies in the nation cannot be forced to close, but the declaration could pressure them into switching to telework or temporarily closing storefronts. Governors of prefectures subject to the declaration can request or order the closure of schools and restrict the use of facilities where many people gather, such as museums and movie theaters. They can also request delivery firms to transport medical goods and equipment, including masks. Land and buildings can be used without the consent of the owners for temporary medical facilities. And governors can order the storage of essential goods, such as medicine. People who refuse to comply will be subject to penalties. Residents of Tokyo and Osaka have already been asked to stay home on weekends. The declaration of a state of emergency could encourage more people to refrain from non-essential outings.
That clip was a little longer than I expected. All right. So now we can do dabs in space. There we go. Dabs in space. Anarchy, anarchy, anarchy. I wanna be anarchy. Man, I should have gone and heat up a cup of tea on that clip. That clip was like forever. Kept going, oh, I'm gonna have to heat up the bong again. Had to heat it like 3 times. That was too hot. Gonna burn, baby, burn. Gonna let it burn, baby, burn. How's that song go? Fire on the streets of Miami. I don't know. Love that song. Gonna let it burn. Gonna let it burn. Sublime. I have some video of those guys somewhere talking about my cunt. Rude boys love my cunt. So nice. Oh, that is very tasty. Oh, that is very tasty. I like that. Okay, so this is a live call-in show. Thanks so much for tuning in. We do this every Monday through Friday at 7 p.m. Pacific time. And thanks so much for joining us. We look forward to seeing you again soon. Or be sure and mark your calendar. We're not done yet. We're not done yet. I'm not leaving. I just want to make sure you guys know that we do this on a regular basis, you know, in case you're new, because, you know, the more the merrier. We'd love to have you here. And, you know, I have a couple more clips, but it is a call-in show, and the number is 805-669-6397. It's right there at the bottom of your screen. It's 805 Mox News. And I have a clip about, you know, going in and out of your home safely, other places, your car, all these things. I am going to go heat up my tea, and I will be right back. So check it out.
Good morning. Robin. To keep their homes safe, some people are engaging in hazmat-level decontamination at the front door. But what are the best practices for staying safe when you come home? To find out, we asked a researcher who studies viruses like COVID-19 how she re-enters her house. Coming from the outside world back home feels significantly more treacherous these days. So we asked Dr. Angela Rasmussen, a researcher from Columbia University who studies viruses, how she disinfects after a trip, say, to the grocery store.
So here's what I do when I get in the car.
It actually starts here, when she leaves the store.
Take my hand sanitizer, sanitize away.
When she gets home, her immediate routine has a focus.
Before touching my face or touching any other surfaces in the house, is I'm going to wash my hands for 20 seconds with soap and warm water.
She says coats, purses, and fabrics don't need any special treatment.
There has not been any reports of coats or clothing being a significant transmission risk for COVID.
But she does think about her phone.
Phones are potentially a higher risk source of fomite transmission or transmission from surfaces because they are in such close proximity to both your hands and your mouth and nose.
She recommends cleaning phones with disinfectant wipes or alcohol when you get home. But what about changing clothes or washing your hair?
The risk for transmission from your clothing, again, unless you've had direct contact with somebody who might be sick, is pretty low.
We have all heard that the virus can live for 24 hours on cardboard and up to 3 days on metal and plastic. But Dr. Rasmussen points to research that shows how the germs on these surfaces outside the body, they lose their infectiousness over time. She says, remember, this is a disease that's primarily spread through respiratory droplets and close contact with other people, Robin. It's somewhat comforting.
It is somewhat comforting, and so is your reporting. This and what you did for the grocery shopping, how to cleanse the groceries when we came back in. People are really thankful for this information. Very, very helpful, Becky, and I hope your family's doing well out there in the Bay Area.
Trying to be helpful in a difficult time. Thank you.
All right, you take care.
Can you play clip one?
Sometimes life can be a little overwhelming. Sometimes the weight of the world can be too much to bear. Sometimes you need to stop worrying and take a deep breath. Sometimes you need cannabis. Introducing Brightside, high-quality cannabis delivered right to your door. Brightside offers an extensive menu of strains and products to meet your needs. Choose the experience you want, and we'll send you the dankest herb, the real sticky icky, some top-shelf marijuana. If you like what we send you, keep the whole jar. We'll even include some nugs for you to blaze. As part of Discovery, you'll get to try new strains and products. Side effects may include euphoria, increased appetite, uncontrollable giggles, elevated sensitivity to musical dopeness, and reduced anxiety. Tetrahydrocannabinol may also induce feelings of existential well-being and relentless optimism. With a Brightside subscription, you can get it once a month, once a week, or whenever you want, all at a price you'll like. And yes, this is a real company.
Do you know who I am?
You're the wizard.
Ask your doctor if cannabis is right for you. It probably is. Keep it Brightside.
Sorry, I was heating up my tea. I was like, okay. And then Craig started distracting me. So I was like, oh, I gotta go. Play that clip. Play Brightside. What's up with this stuff, you guys? Are you guys doing okay? Mike Hawk, we haven't talked about Mike Hawk lately. We should really spend more time talking about Mike Hawk, because, you know, Mike Hawk is really what America is all about. So, vote for Mike Hawk. Thanks for reminding me. What else do we have? We have a couple more clips here. I have another clip about pets, and I have a clip about Wisconsin voting, which I kept expecting to see something in the mainstream about Wisconsin voting, you know, like what the outcome of the voting is, because they always make such a big deal about what the outcome of the voting is. But I haven't seen anything about, like, oh, you know, countdown to the polls when we can announce before we have any votes counted who won, because it doesn't matter who you voted for. All that matters is our polling information, and that you do your best to believe our polling information. Who could possibly be, you know, I keep hearing these people say shit like, what the hell are they saying? They're saying, I keep hearing people say stuff like, oh, well, the polling says that Joe Biden is the best candidate to beat Donald Trump. You mean just like the polling that said that Hillary Clinton can't lose against Donald Trump, that polling? Yeah, okay. And how's that working out for you so far? People love to repeat things. It's weird. It makes me feel like this background right here. Sam made this background for us. It makes me feel like, you remember at Christmas time they used to have those lights that was like it had like colors on it, and it would rotate. You put it in front of the Christmas tree, and it would rotate around, and the Christmas tree would be blue and gold and red. You guys have one of those? Haven't thought about that for a while, have you? Okay, so the number's at 805-669-6397, because this is a call-in show. That's 805 Mox News. So I will play the clip about Wisconsin voting, so I can go and pour my tea now. Because I went and made a lovely cup of tea, but I didn't get to pour it yet.
Thank you. We have talked about the concerns about people voting in Wisconsin today. A primary election long scheduled, which remained on the books. The governor there, Tony Evers, had tried to force through an executive order to delay it. That was blocked by the state's GOP. The Supreme Court also stopped another effort to extend absentee voting in that state. Now people standing there getting hand sanitizer, wearing masks, the voting stations themselves being sanitized between each vote. really concerning for a lot of the people who are headed to the polls today to try to vote. And while absentee voting may be the safest option today for people in Wisconsin, that deadline to request a ballot has come and gone. And even some people who have said that they requested a ballot before the deadline didn't receive one. We spoke with a man in Milwaukee who says today he's having to choose between risking his health and exercising his right to vote. With us now is Cade Boomgarden. He's a Wisconsin voter in Milwaukee. Cade, thank you very much for being here. I know this is a frustrating day for you. I appreciate you taking some time.
Yeah, no problem.
So tell me about, it sounds to me like you requested an absentee ballot and you didn't get one. When did you request that?
So I requested that on the 13th of March, which was well before the state deadline or even the extended deadline that they had. So I was expecting to come shortly thereafter, but still haven't received it. And today is when it has to be postmarked to be sent back. So it's not looking good at this point.
So when you didn't receive it by the deadline, the election day is approaching, were you able to reach out to the state, to anyone to get some assistance about where this ballot is and what you need to do?
Yeah, there was one representative that I was able to reach out to. He forwarded on my information to someone else, and they were able to put in a request to send me a new ballot. But I guess I just delayed the process and still haven't received it after that, after following up with them too.
So at this point now, I imagine your only option would be to go to the polls today, right?
Yeah, that's what it seems like.
And with 5 polling locations open in Milwaukee, really long lines during a pandemic, I know that you've been isolated for weeks, you were telling me, and I imagine you don't want to break that cycle today.
Right, exactly. I consider myself at a little bit of a higher risk since I have asthma, so I don't want to unnecessarily put myself at risk to get it. I saw some pictures of the different polling locations that they had. They had markers up that were supposed to distance people by at least 6 feet, but it looked like a lot of them weren't following that precaution, so it just seems like a dangerous situation overall. So I really don't feel comfortable going out there. I mean, there's hundreds of people. Who knows how long I'd have to wait in line outside. Fortunately, it's a nice enough day where I wouldn't be put at risk due to the weather, but, you know, it's just lucky, I guess. But yeah, it just doesn't seem safe. It doesn't seem like it makes sense for me to do that at this point.
If you were to sit in front of some of your state representatives who have control over when the election happens and how the election happens, what would you tell them?
Well, I would say everyone else has to make changes to their life right now. Every business, every organization, every school has to have contingency plans to deal with this. I don't see why the state government has to be any different, why they insist on voting, putting people in danger, especially the elderly. You know, those people tend to show up on election days a lot more than the rest of the population, representatively. So it's putting them at risk, putting everyone else like myself who would have a additional risk due to asthma or any other condition like diabetes, anything of that nature. It just doesn't make sense. You can change the date. It's not going to be that big of a deal. It just seems like there's some, you know, political motivation or some other reason why they insist on having it today that you know benefits them and maybe does not benefit the rest of us who have to actually go up and show up and vote.
So, Cade, it sounds to me like what you're saying is you don't see an option for you to vote today. You don't plan on voting because you don't know how.
Right. I mean, to me, the benefits don't outweigh the costs. There's just too much risk that I'd be putting myself into, and there's just so much unknown. These are unknown times. We don't know, you know, how many people in line have it, how many people could transfer it or have it and not even know it, that kind of thing. So there's just too many unknowns for me to feel comfortable voting. So it seems like my only option, the only option that makes sense at this point is to just not vote, unfortunately.
Well, Cade, certainly that's not the conclusion that any fan of democracy wants to hear, but I'm glad that you're keeping yourself safe, and I hope that for as long as this lasts, you continue to do that. Thank you for taking some time to talk with us. I appreciate it.
Absolutely. Thanks.
Our thanks to Cade. Let's bring in Alex Miller, who is our politics reporter in Upper Potomac, Maryland. I have to look down at the screen, Alex, to get an update on where everybody is these days, because we're all over now that we're working remote. And we see at the White House still sitting on ladders. We have an update. 5:30, the new expected start time of this news conference. So, Alex, in the meantime, why don't you and I chat? Obviously, the big concern for people in Wisconsin who have to go to the polls today and don't see any other option, if they feel up to it, is their own personal safety and that of their friends and neighbors. Because remember that you can catch this virus, never have any symptoms, have mild symptoms, pass it on to someone else for whom it could be more serious. What do you know about what officials in Wisconsin are doing to keep people safe at the polls today?
So I've been speaking with a bunch of different Wisconsin voters who live across the state, and it doesn't seem like there's one uniform way that they are going about handling this. We saw some video coming out of Milwaukee where people were lining up in front of cones, and it looked like they were trying to socially distance. But I've heard from voters across the state, that have had different experiences. One voter in northern Wisconsin said that no workers were wearing masks, but they did have shields in front of the tables when they went to check in between the poll workers and the voters, and that when they were given pens to sign their ballot, that they were told to keep the pens, that the poll workers didn't want to be reusing them or frankly didn't want to be touching them themselves. And then when I spoke with someone who lives right outside of Milwaukee County, they said, I was the only voter, no line at all. The poll workers were wearing gloves, nobody wore a mask. There were only two poll workers at a table. Most people were 6 feet apart, but not all. So, in these situations, it's kind of hard. They didn't have necessarily a poll worker walking around keeping everybody at a distance. So really, it seems like everyone's just doing the best they can, especially in counties like Milwaukee that normally have 180 polling locations open and only have 5 locations open today.
Right, yeah, a massive drop-off there, massive consolidation happening. Let's talk about some of the updates on your beat today. Lawmakers who are talking about what else they can do to juice the economy and help working families right now. I know that the Treasury Department has said it wants more money to help small businesses. Sounds like lawmakers are thinking about getting that out the door this week. What's happening there?
Yeah, so this won't be part of that Phase 4 package. Secretary Mnuchin says that he wants to ask for $250 billion in additional funding to help small businesses. Then Senator Marco Rubio, who is basically in charge of the small business aspect of this entire all of the phases of this project, he has said that he wants an additional $200 to $250 billion. So they want all of this money to be approved on Thursday. Leader McConnell is saying that he is working to get a vote by unanimous consent so that they don't all have to come back to Washington. But it's unclear whether the Democrats have been consulted on this. It seems as though there might be a little bit of a breakup in that conversation right now, but if all goes well, this money could be passed by the Senate on Thursday.
All right, Alex, thank you very much. Again, this news conference at 5:30, so we may come back and chat with you in a little bit, but for now, I'm going to leave it there. I appreciate it, friend. Thank you. Let's go back to Willie James Inman.
You got it, all right. Happy bird.
More colors. More colors. I do like the colors. Colors are one of my favorite things about this planet. All the colors. The colors are so pretty. Okay, so in case anyone wants to call, the number is 805-669-6397. I thought it was kind of odd to see the people voting. We've seen states already cancel the elections or postpone the elections to protect people. It doesn't seem I don't want to say it doesn't seem necessary. But it seems like, if it could have been postponed for a few days, maybe putting people at risk unnecessarily, and, again, following the rule of better safe than sorry. And then if you look at the rule of wanting as many people as possible to participate in the elections, it's almost like you're telling old people that they don't get a vote in Wisconsin because the old people have been told this is going to affect you people the most. So, and then they don't postpone the election. So those people, if they're being better safe than sorry, or people who have little children or whatever else you might be protecting at home, don't get a vote. And if you're following the better safe than sorry rule, but I guess better safe than sorry, it just applies right now. It's not something that you want to, have it be that way all the time. It's just at a time of heightened type security, better safe than sorry. Now if we were talking again, don't buy into the fear. Again, I walk. My life really hasn't changed except for I don't go to the grocery store that much. And I played a couple of clips for you guys saying, don't go to the fucking store. And that's not the reason that I'm not going to the grocery store as much. It's because not because of the news clips. It's because again, I have done this social distancing thing for a long, long time. And the stores are a little bit on the crazy side right now. And I do my best to avoid crazy at all times, more or less. So these are simple rules that will keep you out of harm's way most of the time. So I have a Tucker clip. I don't know why I keep recording the Tucker clips. I get it set up as a clip, and then I go, ooh, I don't know if I want to do a Tucker clip or not, because the last Tucker clip we played, they claimed copyright on. They didn't shut the video down. They just said, that Fox News says that they own this clip, and which they do, which is fine. It's a news clip. It's meant to be disseminated wide and far, as many people as possible. And you people, for over a decade, people have been saying, all you have to do is put some talking at the beginning of the clip, and they can't claim copyright on it. Well, no, that's incorrect. But it should add to the argument of fair use. So it doesn't completely, but it I told you guys we got copyright claims on these background clips, right? For ooh, I like that one. That one's really cool. You made that one? Craig made that one? I think it's pixelating our output though. Yeah, it looks like it. Too much, too soon. It's nice looking though. You made that one, huh? Craig made that last one with all the little circles. That was pretty cool. All right, so I have another clip. Again, I have a Tucker clip. He's talking about, what was he talking about? He was talking about a few things, but basically he's saying, that it looks like there's this massive hype to the coronavirus fear. It's like it's been hyped up as much as they could do it because there's it appears like he points out that these states who said, oh, we don't have enough ventilators are now giving ventilators away to New York or whatever states need them. Because the states that said, oh, we don't, not all of them, but I guess a bunch of them, like Washington and Oregon, they don't need them. And the reason that I want to play that is because I mean he doesn't really discuss this, but you know, if this is like a planned economic crash, you know, then and again the media has gone along with it, and this hype, you know, I mean, you know, to try and make it so that you know, they can steal as much money as possible, make you guys as afraid as possible, not you guys in particular, but the whole world, and then while doing so, steal every penny they can, which is what they, you know, I mean, which is what they always do. It's what the whole purpose of making you afraid that you need to go to war. You know, this fear thing, this is what I keep saying. This is why I've said don't buy into the fear all this time. Because then you're like, oh, yes, more stimulus, you know. Which, if they had done the stimulus right in the first place, they probably wouldn't be immediately looking at more stimulus. The reason they're doing the stimulus, one stimulus package, and then another stimulus package, and then another stimulus package, isn't because it's bigger than they thought. It's because that way they can steal more money and more money and more money, instead of just doing it, stealing as much as they could in the one package. And that's the way your government works, ladies and gentlemen. And again, I keep clipping out this Tucker clips and thinking that I should play it, and then it's time for the show to air, and I go, oh man, I don't want them to keep claiming copyrights, even though they're not blocking the shows. And I've always been okay with you know, with news services not blocking, but claiming copyright on their video. I'm good with that. I don't even mind if they put an advertisement on it. I just don't like it being blocked. And Fox News does have a tendency to do that, although they haven't done that with any of our live shows yet. On just the clipped out Fox News clips, they will do that. Like, I had a clip of one of these doctor, you know, specialist guys that are hovering around Trump during this COVID-19, you know, press conferences. One of those guys, he was talking to Chris Wallace on Sunday, and I clipped out one of those clips of him and posted it. And you would think that that would be important. Again, the reason this is fair use video is because that guy is not talking to Chris Wallace so that Chris Wallace can make money, so that Fox News can make money. He's talking to them because they have a huge platform which will reach many, many people. That's the whole purpose of him doing an interview, being a specialist on what's happening with the coronavirus. And all I did was clip it out and do my best to make sure as many people as possible saw it. And in the process, I think it got like 1,700 views or something like that. And, you know, not a lot. But in the process, Fox News blocked that video. And in my opinion, again, this is one of these obvious fair use videos where, you know, this is important information that the public needs to hear, that the public is chomping at the bit to hear, and all I'm doing is doing my best to make sure more of the public hears it. And Fox News thinks that for some reason they can act like that is not a fair use clip and then block that clip. And they have blocked Tucker clips also. So again, this is why I don't know why I keep clipping those clips out. I think, oh, he says what it is he says controversial things. That's what it is. That's why I'm drawn to Tucker, because you know, he's talking about this coronavirus being overhyped when no one else in the media is. So so I go, oh, I should bring this to the forefront of the discussion, and then I go, oh, Fox and their fucking YouTube bullshit, that games that they like to play. So, and we don't need, the thing about Tucker is, okay, I keep bringing up this V for Vendetta movie. If you have not seen the movie V for Vendetta, it was scheduled to come out like a week or 2 weeks after 9/11 happened, and they had to postpone. The movie for like 18 months or something, because it was just hit a little too close to home with what was being discussed as far as 9/11 truth and shit. So, but the movie V for Vendetta is all about what's happening now. V for Vendetta is about the government releasing a weaponized virus. And they did it, the reason that they released the weaponized virus in the movie was because they already had a cure for it. And they could make a bunch of them super rich. And one of the main characters in the movie is a prostitute talking head, very much bigger than life, Sean Hannity, Fox News type of character, and obviously connected to the government and even the president himself, or the in this case the prime minister, and what I keep seeing, the reason I bring it up is because I keep mentioning this movie. What I keep seeing and watching the Tucker clips is that this character in V for Vendetta, which is I guess it had to come out a couple of years after the 9/11. The V for Vendetta movie. The character, the talking head character in the movie, who's one of the main characters, who's a bigger than life, Sean Hannity, government can do no wrong kind of character. He, in this particular plot, is Tucker Carlson. Or at least that's what I keep seeing when I watch the Tucker Carlson. I keep flashing to this guy and thinking, this is the guy that would be spewing all the hate and all the fucking, the government is here to save us, and that's what I keep seeing. Tucker, he's not talking positively about the local government, but the federal government. They're there to protect us. They're here to make sure that we survive this plague, So anyways, if you have not seen the movie, again, it's all about a weaponized virus that's released by the government, and it was released in order to make people in the government. They already had the cure for it, so they released it in order to make them very, very rich. And the main character is V, and he wears a Guy Fawkes mask throughout the entire movie, and he's a great, great character. And Natalie Portman is to die for. Natalie Portman's shaved head is to die for. All right, so I'm not going to play the Tucker clip, even though he is the main character that is the prostitute talking head, Sean Hannity type of character in that movie, if anyone is wondering. Let's see if I can see him. Go ahead, click it out. Let's see. Oh, there's Natalie Portman getting her shaved head. There's Natalie Portman getting her shaved. It's such a good movie. If you have not seen the movie, it's so good. I just absolutely love the part where Natalie Portman is being tortured. I don't see the talking head guy there. But if you're looking for something to watch, unfortunately, I can't find it free on demand anywhere at the moment. It has been on the Netflix for like the last 3 years. And now all of a sudden, the plot of the movie happens to be the plot of our lives. And for whatever reason, it's no longer available free. So, but it is worthy of a watch. And I would even recommend buying it if you're trying to decide, what to do as far as renting it or whatever. I would purchase the damn thing. It's great. And I believe I have a VHS copy around here somewhere. Okay, so, but I do have one more clip, and it is about fucking Tiger. So I am going to play the fucking Tiger clip. Because I know you guys are all worried about your pets.
Now we're going to turn to that tiger that has tested positive for coronavirus at the Bronx Zoo. More big cats there are now showing symptoms, and it raises the question of whether your pets are at risk. Will Reeve joins us now from outside the zoo. Good morning, Will.
Hey, good morning, Michael. That test on the tiger was done at a USDA veterinary lab, and officials here at the Bronx Zoo are adamant that the tests on animals are entirely different from and unrelated to the ones done on humans, but that learning more about the virus and how it is transmitted is essential for keeping people and animals safe.
This morning, officials at the Bronx Zoo, home to the first animal in the United States to test positive for COVID-19, say they still aren't certain who infected a tiger there.
We're assuming one of our staff had the infection and were spreading, the virus unknowingly.
The 4-year-old Malayan tiger named Nadia was born at the zoo in 2016, making her public debut alongside her sister Azul. Now 7 big cats in total, including Azul and 2 more tigers and 3 lions, are sick.
All of the tigers and lions that got sick had a cough, and it was a dry cough, not a productive cough. There's no treatment that is known to work. So we've treated just symptomatically.
All of the big cats are expected to make a full recovery, but the concerning revelation that animals can be infected has many worried about their pets at home. There have been reports of several cats and dogs testing positive for coronavirus overseas, but according to the CDC, no pets in the United States have been sickened, and there is currently no evidence that pets can pass coronavirus back to their owners. Veterinarian Dr. Evan Anton says people should not be concerned with their pets giving them COVID-19.
If your pet has COVID-19, it's far more likely that you gave it to them or somebody else in your household, and you've already been exposed to that person as well.
A veterinarian told us that if your pet somehow does have coronavirus, it is far more likely that you or a loved one at home passed it to them. So there's a real incentive, Michael, to be as cautious and take as much precaution as you possibly can. That's what we're doing here, using these protective masks when we're not broadcasting.
Every bit of precaution helps. Thank you so much, Will. And we're going to bring in Dr. Jennifer Ashton, who joins us now to answer your questions about pets and coronavirus. And Doc, thank you for joining us this morning. We've got a lot of questions from our viewers. So let's just tell us what we know about pets getting the virus.
Well, very limited data published in the medical and veterinary medical literature thus far, as we just heard from Will. But we do have to remember coronaviruses in general are known to infect animals. So what's interesting is that the very few dogs and cats, and now large cats, that have been tested positive for COVID-19, they're showing the same strain as humans. So the implication is, as Will said, that humans passed it to dogs and cats, but no evidence that these animals are being made sick.
Yeah, CDC said there is no evidence that the pets can transmit the virus to humans. But do we need to be concerned about the pets carrying it on their fur?
Well, we don't know, because that has not been officially and formally researched yet, but that's why the CDC and the American Veterinary Medical Association really suggest that if a human is sick and it's implied or assumed that they have COVID-19, that they keep their distance from their pets just as they would other people. We know that the virus can survive on hard surfaces. It's not known if it can live on fur. Obviously, you can't use a bleach wipe on your pet. But that's why, maybe wiping them off with water once in a while, if that's possible for dogs, not cats as much, but really treating them as you would another person and keeping your distance if you don't feel well. Asymptomatic spread, we don't know what we can do about that to protect the pets.
Well, the thing is, a lot of people, your pets are your comfort. And so it's a tough time to stay away from your pets, but it is what is necessary at this point. Dr. Ashton, thank you so much for that. George?
Hey, everybody. Okay, so, yes, GMA is the Disney news. They have Star Wars stuff on there all the time and other Disney things. So weird that Star Wars is now Disney. There's my girl. Hi, my girl. How's my girl? Huh? How's my girl? Gonna lay down in the water? Okay, you lay down in the water. You don't want to go up on the couch? Go up on the couch, honey. Go up on the couch. Nope. Okay. So that's all my clips. I'm not gonna play the Tucker clip. I don't think I'm not gonna play it. I'm not gonna play the Tucker clip. I mean, I know I'm not gonna play it again because I think partially the reason that I'm drawn to it, and then partially the reason that I don't want to play it, besides the copyright issue, is that I think that is that he is that propagandist dude from the V for Vendetta movie. He absolutely is that person, and I that person's very dangerous. So, and it's not because he's on your side. Play the fucking clip! Just play the fucking clip! I think we have a phone call. Oh, yes, we have a phone call. Hello, caller.
Hey, this is goddamn Joe Exotic, the goddamn motherfucking shit. God damn it. I got the goddamn coronavirus. I'm up here in jail and shit. God damn it. Michael.
Yes.
All right. That goddamn bitch, Carol Baskin. All right. You tell her. You tell her. This goddamn coronavirus ain't gonna kill me. Okay? Can you tell her that for me?
You stay strong, Joe.
I got the goddamn coronavirus. There's a tiger out there that's got goddamn coronavirus. This is the missing link. We have to mate. We have to mate to get the antibodies to actually solve this problem. There's a goddamn shit that's everybody's fucking doesn't understand why I'm so goddamn fucking pissed off all the time about Carol fucking Baskins, goddamn bullshit and everything, and I just know he's genetics, okay? I got the hybrids, I got all this fucking goddamn shit, and
you okay, Joe?
I'm good. I got the goddamn coronavirus here in goddamn fucking jail and shit. They got me locked up in a goddamn fucking cage.
Like a tiger.
Goddamn Donald Trump is supposed to be getting me the fuck out of here is what I'm hearing and shit. Netflix is telling me. God damn it. This shit is taking forever. This is goddamn fucking bullshit. And I'm getting fucking pissed the fuck off. I don't deserve to be locked in a goddamn fucking cage. I don't give a shit if there's no goddamn fucking evidence about Carol Baskin killing her goddamn husband. I got an entire army out there currently.
Well,
of the
that's
whole fucking
awesome.
goddamn world in Netflix.
At least you're not
Signing
alone.
petitions to get me the fuck out of here. And I know, who gives a shit if I fucking put a hit out for Carol Baskin? Who gives a goddamn shit? I got Netflix on my side. I'm gonna be breeding tigers. I'm gonna get a new goddamn husband. You know, you kind of look like my old husband, Willico. You look like one of my fucking old husbands, Willico.
Uh-huh.
Hey, you looking for a new man, Michael?
Joe.
Because, you know, they'll just get you all hitched up in here and shit. You could be the first ever motherfucker
Joe.
to marry
Joe.
the sons of bitches in prison with the COVID-19. This could be a world goddamn record. We're doing world records. That's all we do.
I'm not interested.
Are you interested?
No.
Well, it's your fucking goddamn loss. Shit.
I'm good with that.
All right, well, I got to get off the goddamn phone because I'm making calls with Cardi B, fucking Michael Jackson, Ellen DeGeneres, you know. Just breathe harder. If you get the COVID-19, just man the fuck up. Fuck it. You know what you should do? Some of these people, they should just man the fuck up, okay? Stick their fucking hand through a fence with a tiger in it and see what happens, okay? 90% of the time, nothing happens. Okay, 90, maybe, or 50% of the time, it's a 50-50 shot, I tell you. Or maybe a 20, 80%. I don't know. There's a percentage that you're going to make it out alive. I recommend it.
And the zoo scare caught on camera. 10-year-old Sean was posing for a picture in front of an animal enclosure when a full-size Siberian tiger lunges at the glass. The family says Sean was startled, but they are just grateful for the glass safety window. 10-year-old
For like
Sean.
$250. Just give one to your kid for her fucking birthday. If she want one, just get it. Okay, we're stealing them. Okay? I'm getting the fuck out of here. Trump is getting me the fuck out of here. The American people, the goddamn Spanish people, and all the goddamn people who love fucking tigers. We got fucking Vietnamese people. We got fucking goddamn other people. People got fucking all kinds of goddamn shit people. And they want a bunch of fucking goddamn tigers. So we need to get this shit to them immediately. They need to get me the fuck out of here so I can really fucking do some goddamn work. There ain't no goddamn way this goddamn coronavirus is gonna fucking kill Joe Exotic, the goddamn tiger motherfucking king. Alright? I gotta go.
Alright, Joe, you stay strong.
You tell the fucking world. You call the press. You tell them.
Okay, Joe, you stay
Right.
strong. I think they know.
We're in here.
Okay.
We are in here. You need to get this goddamn news out there.
Yeah. Okay, okay, Joe.
I'm pissed the fuck off in here. Shit. God damn it.
Okay. He hung up. Joe Exotic calling from prison, apparently. I think the tiger clips trigger him. All right, so we'll play the Tucker clip. We'll play the fucking clip, Doppel Cooper. I know who you are.
Tonight, amazingly enough, life is returning to normal in the city that started it all. After 2.5 months, the Chinese government has ended its lockdown of Wuhan. As we have throughout this crisis, we'll begin tonight by going to Chief Breaking News correspondent Trace Gallagher. He has more on that development, as well as the latest numbers from across the country. Hey, Trace.
Hey, Tucker, the lockdown in Wuhan lasted 76 days, and now Chinese authorities are allowing the 11 million residents there to travel in and out of the city as long as they're healthy, and their health is mainly determined by a mandatory smartphone application that allows the Chinese government to surveil and track cell phone data. In other words, the government would know if you had contact with somebody who is contagious. Here in the United States, New York and New Jersey remain the hot spots, and both had their deadliest days yet. 731 people people died in New York, 229 in New Jersey. Yet the rate of patients being admitted to hospitals and ICUs is slowing significantly in both states. That's a key signal that the curve is flattening. Meantime, Louisiana is also a hot spot and had its highest day of deaths with 70, but the state is seeing the number of hospitalizations move in the right direction. Here's the governor. Watch.
We still cannot say with absolute confidence that the curve is flattening, but we are still seeing more evidence that we are moving in that direction.
California is also seeing its curve flatten. New cases and deaths has been very steady for almost a week now. Governor Gavin Newsom says the state won't peak until May, though it remains unclear exactly what model he's relying on. And we should note, even some states with relatively few cases are seeing a jump in their daily average increase, including Idaho, Oklahoma, and Wyoming. Tucker.
Trace Gallagher, thanks so much for that. So those are the numbers as of tonight. The question is, what happens next? Well, yesterday a piece in the New York Times asked what appeared to be a pretty straightforward question. When will New York City reach the peak of its outbreak? New York City, of course, being the place with the most cases in this country. And you'd think that epidemiologists could answer that question with some precision, but as it turns out, no, they can't. Governor Andrew Cuomo predicted the peak will come this week. The head of New York Presbyterian Hospital predicted April 15th. The state's health commissioner, meanwhile, thought late April or maybe early May. The predictions differed by up to a full month. At a time when New York is quarantined and people are still dying, that is a very big range of answers. Howard Markle, a physician and professor at the University of Michigan, summed up the current state of knowledge this way, quote, "In reality, we don't know." No, we don't know. In fact, a close look at the data suggests the peak of the epidemic in New York may have already passed 5 days ago. On April 2nd, 1,427 people were hospitalized for coronavirus in New York. It's the highest number so far recorded. The next day, that total dropped to 1,095, and then on Sunday, it fell to only 358. In the last 2 days, new hospitalizations have ticked up once again, but they're still far below last Thursday's peak. If this trend holds, we don't know that it will, but if it does, the worst may already be over for New York. All of this has come as a surprise to our public health authorities and a welcome surprise to those of us watching. The Institute for Health Metrics and Evaluation, the IHME, is a well-regarded research center run from the University of Washington. The IHME has produced detailed predictions charting the expected course of this epidemic here in the United States as well as in other countries. Their model has done perhaps more than any other piece of academic research to shape our response to the coronavirus crisis. So how accurate has that model been? Here are some numbers. Initially, the IHME predicted that on April 4th, the state of New York would require 65,000 hospital beds to handle infected patients. The low-end estimate of what the state would need was nearly 48,000 beds. In fact, on April 4th, New York had fewer than 16,000 hospitalizations for coronavirus, and many other states fell far below the model's projections as well, many states. Over the weekend, the IHME updated its model. Its projections across the country have been scaled back dramatically, and yet they are still significantly overstated. For example, today, which is April 7th, the updated IHME model predicts that New York will need 25,000 hospital beds. As of this morning, the real number was just under 17,500. The new model also predicted that as of today, almost 6,600 people would be in intensive care, and the actual number is just under 4,600. In Florida, the new model predicted 4,000 people would be hospitalized. The reality in Florida tonight is that not even 2,000 are. And it wasn't just Florida and New York. The IHME got it wrong in state after state after state. By the way, for America, this is great news, and we should celebrate it. It's much better than we thought. Though, unfortunately, on the question of total deaths, the model has been more accurate, though it still tends to overshoot. For example, yesterday, the IHME predicted 784 deaths for New York. The state finished the day with about 600. For the entire country, the model predicts about 2,000 deaths today, and sadly, it seems like we'll finish somewhere around that number. But that may not be the whole story. There is nuance within those numbers, as there always is in social science. For many years, the CDC has tracked the total number of Americans who die every week from pneumonia. For the last few weeks, that number has come in far lower than at the same moment in previous years. How could that be? Well, it seems entirely possible that doctors are classifying conventional pneumonia deaths as COVID-19 deaths. And that would mean this epidemic is being credited for thousands of deaths that would have occurred if the virus never appeared here. We don't know that for certain, but it's certainly worth considering. Something is skewing those numbers. Nor do we know exactly why the model predicted so many more hospitalizations than we have actually had. Now, you will hear people say, you're hearing them say now, that this is evidence that the shutdowns and social distancing must be working. But not so fast. Those measures were built into the model in the first place. They've already been taken into account, and we are still doing far better than what epidemiologists believe was the best-case scenario. So the question is, and it's a central question as we move forward, how did this happen? Well, it's possible the virus is just less deadly than we feared it was, or it's less likely to send people to the hospital. Maybe it spreads less easily than we thought it did. Maybe it spreads more easily than we thought it did, and the number of asymptomatic carriers is higher than we knew. All of those are reasonable theories. We have no idea which one could be true. Then there's this. In a new draft paper, MIT economist Jeffrey Harris suggests that Americans are following social distancing guidelines more effectively than authorities ever imagined they would. And that's another potential explanation. Whatever's happening, this epidemic appears to be doing less damage than anticipated, and it's receding more quickly. Not so long ago, some of our leaders seemed on the verge of panic. On March 24th, for example, Governor Cuomo of New York descended into a state of frenzy during his daily press conference. Cuomo dismissed the federal assistance New York had received as grossly inefficient. Tens of thousands of innocent New Yorkers are going to die, he said. They will choke to death while doctors do nothing to help them. Watch.
FEMA says we're sending 400 ventilators. Really? What am I going to do with 400 ventilators when I need 30,000? You pick the 26,000 people who are going to die because you only sent 400 ventilators.
You pick the people who are going to die? It was effective theater, but it was awful. What a horrifying thought that was. As recently as last Friday, April 3rd, Governor Cuomo was threatening to use the National Guard to seize ventilators from facilities upstate. That's how badly New York needed them. Except it didn't need them. As it turned out, New York has many more beds and ventilators than it needs.
Equipment, that's the protective equipment, ventilators where we are stretching and moving, but every hospital has what they need to date.
So miscalculations like the ones you just saw played out across the country in state after state. On March 14th, for example, the governor of Oregon, Kate Brown, warned that her state's 688 ventilators wouldn't be nearly enough to handle the coming surge of coronavirus cases. It turns out she got it backward. Oregon had more ventilators than it needed. So on April 4th, Governor Brown shipped 150 of the machines to New York, which, based on current trends, may not need them either. Now, once again, we ought to celebrate all of this. Fewer hospitalizations are a godsend for this country. And as awful as this epidemic has been and will be, at least so far, it hasn't been the disaster that we feared. Our healthcare system hasn't collapsed. That was the key concern. Except in a handful of places, really, it hasn't come very close. Patients are not dying alone in the hallways of emergency rooms with physicians too overwhelmed to treat them. That was the concern. It happens in other countries. It's not happening here. Thank God for that. All of this means that the short-term crisis, the ones that we worried about so fervently, in which pressure on hospitals grew so exponentially day by day with no end in sight, that short-term crisis may have passed. We'll see, but it looks like it may have.
What's that? Hold on just a sec. Okay, so we're coming out of the clip, and we have Michelle on the phone. Hey, Michelle. How's it going, doll?
Hi, Mike. It's going pretty good. How you doing tonight?
I am good. We had a beautiful day today. We walked. We had a nice long walk on the trails, and I love that. So I'm doing good.
Oh, awesome, man. Yeah, it was like about 86 today over here in sunny.
Wow.
Awesome. Oh,
Anything over 75 is too hot for me, Michelle.
Brother, man, tomorrow's supposed to be like 97 and sunny.
Oh my God! Are you planting seeds?
No, not right now. I've just been doing some landscaping around here and stuff.
Mm.
Yeah, doing things that I would normally do anyways, because it's like, well, shit, I'm here already, so might as well get it done. But yeah, so I'm enjoying it, and I was just really freaking dismayed by this Wisconsin fucking voting. That first they say, no, we're not going to do it, and then the Supreme Court, which is already stacked.
Yeah.
turned around. No, we are keeping the voting and shit. And that's what I was saying. You could just see Mitch McConnell fucking there twisting his fucking mustache like, oh yeah, none of you fuckers are gonna go, because if you're for democracy, you have no place here. You know? And I was like, oh my god, I was so fucking pissed. I was like, so that's what I'm wondering, is there really a virus or not? You know, because if they're willing to put the lives of people that just, hey, first stay 6 feet apart, but now they're okay in it to go ahead and vote, what's the fucking difference? And then to have more people in one area, when in Florida there was a couple of pollsters that were there helping out, they contacted the virus. So you didn't think that Wisconsin would learn from that, and let alone the Supreme Court, they didn't give a fuck about that either? Doesn't that show you that what the GOP is all about? Because they blocked the Democrats from fucking postponing it. You know, for that governor, you know, when they said, no, we're going to postpone it, next thing you know it, a couple hours later, no, it's going on as planned. Like, what the hell's going on here?
Yeah,
So,
no,
I don't
that
know.
seems really messed up, Michelle. I think, I mean, in that report that I played, I think it said something like only a dozen polling stations were open, where usually like 220 stations would be open or something. So it
Yeah.
seems like besides the fact that, you know, it shouldn't be happening in the first place, the way that it's being done is
Right.
less than half-ass, you know? Couldn't be
Absolutely.
worse.
Yeah, and that's what they want, though. You know, that's
Yeah.
what they want. The GOP don't give a shit about people. All they care about is keeping the power. That's all they care. That's all it's been, and there's a lot of Democrats that are on their side as well. They're not Democrats anymore. Just get in the middle aisle, fuckers, and lay down like you've been doing. You know, that's who they are. But did you hear that the guy, the head of the Green Party, that they had offered Bernie the ticket if he wants it?
No, I didn't hear that. That's awesome. You know, it would be so amazing if he would actually give the people a third option, you know?
Can you imagine? Oh my gosh.
Yeah, that
That's
would be
what-
so. I mean, it would give the people a real reason to go out. The people who can't stand the Democrats, the people who can't stand the Republicans, the people who believe that that's what the real problem is. It would give them a real reason to fucking go out and vote for a change.
Hell yeah, give them a choice. Last time Jill Stein was on that party and shit, and I was all like, oh hell yeah. And then that dissipated and shit. But and then at that time, Bernie was just barely, you know, nobody really knew him because he couldn't get any fucking airtime. He was blackballed back in 2016. Just, you know, now he's more popular than ever because they're actually showing him. So I'm like, all right, you know, he has a chance now. People are like, you know, where's this guy been all along? It's like he's been right there in front of your fucking nose. However, the media, they are not going to fucking tell you that there's another option.
Yeah.
That works
Well, I think it would be pretty amazing to see if he actually did take the Green Party nomination, and if the media just completely blacked him out like they do, you know, Jill Stein and all the libertarian candidates and everything.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. It's like at least to give us a fucking option. And I believe the guy's name is Howie. He's the one who's the head of that. And when he had said that, you know, I was like, shit, so don't count him out right now, you know, because people are seeing the difference between Trump giving you advice to Biden, but that's all folks, to Bernie, who's actually making sense and actually are helping people. You know, Trump hasn't said about, how about the millions of people that got kicked off their health insurance because they're not working anymore. No one's saying none of that shit. That shit is what matters. I don't give a fuck if your dog or cat, and I have pets, you know, can they contact the virus? Fuck, how does that fucking affect me, man? You know,
Well,
I want to hear
if-
I want to hear that there's other people out there, not the ones that you guys are trying to push, you fucks. I want real solutions, and these fuckers like Gates and Trump are in on this, passing this. Why not people try this new drug that they come up with and shit? Because both of them are gonna profit from that fucking pill. And that, well, what's the worst that can happen? Trump says, death. Hello? What the hell?
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
Mm-mm.
No, he's just not on the same page as the rest of the world, you know, and And again, he makes everything about him. It's impossible. I honestly believe, Michelle, I truly, I believe at his very core, if he has a heart, you know, at the very center of his heart, he believes with his whole fucking heart that he is the center of the universe. Okay?
Yeah, true.
And that's all that matters, is the center of the fucking universe. And I mean, I don't know how someone gets that way, but that seems like the last person you want to be claiming to be a public servant, you know?
How he gets that way would be somebody that's always turning up their nose to the peasants and getting away with not paying for their labor and, you know, extorting them for the reason that you guys are not legal. And, you know, that's easy enough for you to be so out of touch, just like all the other Republicans are out of touch of what we need. You know, there's all these stars and all these people saying, well, we're going to send, you know, we're going to make a fund page.
I know, you're right. I know how he gets that way. He gets that way by, you know, no matter what fucked up thing he does, he still gets to go and bang the Playboy bunnies and live the life. So why the fuck should it matter? All that matters is that he's the center of the universe, and that works real fucking well for him.
And it sure does, Mike, because he can afford to get up and get out of this country once he takes it all to hell. Okay, we can't do that. We can't get up and move to another fucking country, you know, like he can. All the elite, they already got properties all around the fucking world, okay? They don't give a flying fuck.
Right.
And to prove that, I would tell you that they canceled all the regulations, laws, the EPA. So guess what's happening to our rivers and our waters and our lakes right now as we speak?
Yeah.
They say, through this virus, we cancel all the fucking laws and regulations that has to do with the Environment Pollution Act, and they don't give a fuck. So right now, while people are worrying about, oh my God, is Nana gonna fucking croak? Motherfucker, we're all gonna croak, because if there's no clean water, motherfuckers, we're done. Okay, we're done. And all these rich people that are destroying this planet of ours, they're going to get up and fly and get the hell away from this country, because now, you know what? We're getting close to a third world country, man. And that's what they want. They're going to take all the money, you know, just like as kids. They get pissed off or happy, got enough, okay, I'm going to take my ball and go home. That's what they're going to do. And we're here left cleaning the mess. There's like gas leaks, pipelines, gas lines that are leaking. They don't give a fuck. It's all a free-for-all right now.
You know what, Michelle? They could take everything that they could fucking carry out of the fucking country, as long as they never fucking came back and never had anything to do with the slightest bit of business in this country. I'd be just fine with that. Get the fuck out, you scumbags. We don't fucking need you. We don't want you. Go the fuck away. You know, yeah. But it would never work that way, because all that matters in this fucking country is money. And if you have money, it doesn't matter what country you're from. You are more than welcome in the United States. Doesn't matter. You could be from fucking Saudi Arabia. You could be from fucking Israel. And if you got money, oh yeah, come on down, no problem.
Sure, but the thing is that none of them are going to want to come down to the great old United States of America, because we're not going to have nothing to come to. Already, we're on a fucking watch list of people.
I agree.
Do not go to the United States if you're of color. How much more do you fucking need? But yet, nobody talks about that shit. But yeah, it's out there. Everybody is warned about coming to the United States of America because of our police. That they're targeting black folks and brown folks and blah, blah, blah. Anything that doesn't look like them. You know, already they're destroying our fucking country. So I know I would love it if they would fucking leave. But the thing is, I wish that they would fucking leave like right now, so we can fix what you all.
Get the fuck out. Get the fuck out. We don't want you. We don't need you. But that's not the way the people act. They act like the fucking billionaires are all that matters.
The fucking Bill Gates telling us about, oh my God, I'm so worried about you. Mr. Talk about depopulation all the fucking time. Fuck off, Gates.
Yeah, he's fucking scum. I wouldn't trust that guy, you know, as far as I could throw him. And I bet I could throw him pretty far.
No, fuck that bitch, man. Oh my God, he's the worst. They're all in the same fucking category. Like, man, I wish karma would come and hit them. But you see how they're doing all this shit by all these stimulus packages, you know? they're just like, okay, let's take care of the people who are really going to make a difference. You know, the heavy hitters are going to pay into my fucking campaign, and all the people, you know, that they're going to give us kickback. Okay, now the stimulus package number 2. Well, we're still going to throw peanuts to the peasants, but let's see what else we can get it. You know, let's see what else we can get. They were fucking raping the United States of America before our fucking eyes, and everybody's worried about Nana. Jesus Christ. I don't even know.
Well, it's understandable to worry about Nana. I mean...
Mike, you know what I'm saying.
I know, I hate me fucking Nana.
You can do more than one fucking thing at once, man. We're not Trump. Jesus Christ.
Yeah, well, it's not that we can't do more than one thing at once. It's that, you know, I mean, again, there's this so overwhelming, the people, you know, and they're terrified and they don't know what to do. So...
I know, but what I'm saying is that whatever look, they fucking act like they care about us. Everybody stay in your homes. Be careful. The virus is out there. The boogeyman. Be careful. And then from one day to the next, it's safe enough for y'all to go vote. Well, then why isn't it safe enough for us to do anything else?
Yeah, why can't we go to work and whatever, you know? I mean, I hear you. I went down. We went to the park yesterday. And it said there's like a fucking sign outside the park that says, you know, the park area is closed due to COVID-19, and anyone caught, you know, in the park is subject to $1,000 fine. I was like, what the fuck?
Y'all getting treated like Laredo, Texas. If they don't wear a mask, $1,000 fine. That must be the number they're running with, I guess, huh?
I guess that's the bell ring number that people go, oh, I don't want $1,000 fine or whatever, you know. That's the number that works.
It's got 4 digits. Oh my God, these fucking assholes, man. I tell you. But I don't know. It's like they want their cake and eat it too, you know.
Well, yeah, they want it all, Michelle. They don't want us to have anything. They don't. I mean, this is the whole reason for the endless wars and shit. That's the reason that we can't have a 21st century infrastructure, because we spend all this money on war, which isn't the real reason. The real reason is because the fucking rich cunts don't want to build a 21st century infrastructure, because that would involve new technologies, 21st century technologies, and then we might change our mind about fossil fuels if we actually had an option. So they don't want that. So, you know, it's not going to happen. You don't get a 21st century infrastructure. You get to drive on this 1930s shit.
A fucking cobblestone, bitch.
We have a lot of cobblestone roads here in Seattle. I actually love them, but that's like 1910 technology or something.
Yeah, no shit, huh? Yeah, but what do they care, man? They fly to places. They don't fucking. They're not like us peasants that we got to be on the road. You know, what do they give a fuck about? Shit.
Yeah.
All they care about is making their bank bigger and bigger and bigger. It's just a competition between them. How much more can we take of these, you know, from these people, from these peasants? Let's, you know, figure out ways, you know, what's a slick way, you know, silver tongue this shit and get us some more money. You know, they're just fucking horrible. They're horrible fucking people. You know, in this world, and everybody fucking sat back to it, and no one had really made this kind of noise that no one was getting any kind of raises. Or everybody, you know, the cost of living keeps going up, but yet the wages stayed stale. You know, minimum wage is still at 7 and change. You know, the federal whatever, and it's just like, you know, no one bats an eye for that shit, because you know what? It would help people out too fucking much. And that's when you get the uprising of all these elites and all these company owners and everything else. Like, oh, wait a minute. Someone's trying to get a piece of our pie. We got to shut it down. Hence Bernie, because Bernie's not fucking with them. So that's why they're like, you know what? We got to do what we got to do. But look at, they fucking went and picked up a motherfucking horse with 3 legs, man. That's who they picked. How about that? With Biden. You fucking joke. Oh, my God.
Yeah.
Mm-mm.
Yeah, I just don't understand. I mean, I do understand. I think that the reason that the elites pick Biden is because they want Donald Trump reelected. I'm pretty sure that's why they picked Biden.
Well, not only that, Mike, Biden is the same shit.
Yeah, that too, yeah.
He's one of them anyways. Just like, people are losing their health insurance when they really need it right now. People that got laid off. They got laid off. You think their fucking damn company owners are fucking keeping them on the insurance? No. No one's talking about this. Just like the 17-year-old boy that went to the fucking hospital and needed help, and he didn't have insurance. They turned him away. He fucking had cardiac arrest going to another motherfucking hospital. That happened like within this month or last month actually.
Yeah, I played that clip.
But you see, that's what I'm saying. No one's talking about the uninsured now. And it's like, if anything, right now is when people should open their fucking mouths and say, that's why we need Medicare for all.
Right.
So that way the company can't fucking do this shit to you. That way you always know that no matter what hospital you go to, they're not going to fucking look at you like, no insurance, I can't help you. When the doctors and nurses were always supposed to be there to help.
Right. I mean, that's the title of the video tonight, is, best healthcare system in the world, because I can't believe that anybody still believes that. I mean, it's made obvious that it's not even properly stocked. How can it possibly be the best healthcare system in the world?
And that's what I'm saying. They're all like, the land of the free and everything, and everybody's all fucking peachy clean and fucking, let's eat fucking apple pie and make some fucking franks on the grill. Fuck yeah. There's been a long time since July 4th I've actually celebrated, because it's just like, ho hum. There's like nothing that we should be proud of. Because what the fuck this government is doing to us, each and every one of us should be fucking fed up and pissed off and realize that they do not give a fuck about us. If nothing fucking makes it more obvious, look what they did in Wisconsin. They made people go up there forcefully. If you want to fucking be, if you want to vote, you want your voice heard, put your life on the line. What fucking GOP motherfucking hell are we living in that everybody's okay with this? When it comes down to fucking this November, motherfuckers better remember this shit right here. Biden's the same as them. He's all for it. Hell, all somebody needs to do is shove their hand up his ass. He'll say anything they want. So that's why they want Biden over Bernie. Bernie's too much of get off me. Like, I'm going to do what I'm going to do for the people. And everybody needs to fucking realize that. And if it doesn't work out with the Democrats, man, it's time for third party. It's time. It's time we need to rise up, because all this coronavirus thing did, it stopped the Hong Kong riots over there, and they were not stopping. They were like, leave us alone, China. We want to be independent. Leave us alone. That wasn't stopping. Then all of a sudden you see riots all across the world. France, United States, nurses stepping up, doctors, everybody was stepping up like, yeah, this ain't right. Everybody was standing for their rights.
Yeah.
Then all of a sudden, snap my fingers, everybody's gonna die.
Yeah.
Now we all can hear the pin drop. Didn't that work out well for them, Mike? Didn't that work out fucking well for them?
Shit tends to work out well for them.
And I don't believe in coincidences, man.
Yeah.
So that's why we're like, wow, he said something else. That's all they had to do. And that China's to blame and this and that and blame everybody else. Trump is nothing but a little fucking kid. Yeah, you did it. I didn't do it. You did it. I didn't do it. That motherfucker is ignorant, and he's caught on video showing exactly his ignorance, from first calling it a hoax to saying it's going to be a miracle. The heat in April, it's just going to fucking, it's all going to go away. You watch. Like, what the, and people are still, yay, Trump. Hey, take this drug, man. It hasn't been tested or proven, but I feel it'll work. And you know what? Trump thinks he's Jesus, so his followers are going to be like, hey, why not? What's the worst that can happen? 6 feet under, you jackass? Like, whoa, man.
Yeah. Yeah, I've heard that drug that he's, I think it was Sanjay Gupta today, but he was saying that the drug that he is recommending is it's a malaria drug, and that
who, Gupta?
Yeah, Gupta was saying that
I don't know much credit to that.
Yeah, I know. I'm just saying what I heard, and I'm citing the source, so it's not like But he was saying that it also can shut down, play havoc with the immune system. So if you're already sick, and then you take this drug and it fucking shuts down your immune system, it could be a real problem.
You see what I'm saying, man?
Yeah.
What the fuck, man? You know, just like this week or last week, Trump said, or they said, you know, everybody, you know, y'all should be wearing a mask regardless. Y'all should be wearing a mask. Trump gets up there, but you know you don't have to. What the fuck are you doing? Everybody's like, come here, go away. What do we do? They just stand still in stupidity. Like, what the fuck? Yes, this is our president, motherfuckers, right here. This fucking buffoon. This motherfucker who can't fucking write without a fat ass fucking Sharpie in his goddamn hand. This motherfucker is so ignorant that, you know what? I don't even feel sorry at this point for people who are going to follow his recommendations. You follow him and Gates until they fucking kick you on the forehead and say, okay, that's enough. You already bought my product. Go away. You know? Like, oh my God. It's so ridiculous. People do not need to be listening to Trump. I'll tell you that. You know, be smart like we always do. It's not like we walk around here like fucking animals or treating us like animals. Like, you don't know how to wash your hands. Like, what the fuck? Fuck you. You know? Why don't you guys wash your mouth? It's more dirtier than anybody's fucking hands. Shit.
Well, they're it's not so much you don't know how to wash your hands as that, you know, at this point, you're not washing your hands enough. So you probably, you know, will make a thing about how people need to be washing their hands. And that seems to, I mean, look, the curve is flattening out. You know, that's what I'm hearing. That's what I'm seeing. So it's headed the right direction, I hope, you know.
Got something in the fucking news today over here in Texas, in Dallas. They're talking about everybody really needs to really, really, really stay inside because it's really, really, really about to get fucking bad.
Well, we'll really, really, really see really, really, really soon, won't we?
Yeah, you don't hear from me, you fucker.
Well.
No, I'm just kidding, man. Shit. No, but they did say that, like, it's about to fucking peak, so everybody fucking, like, 1,000 precaution now.
Well.
And I'm, Jesus Christ, that's why I stopped watching the news, man, because every day it's like, okay, this, and that.
Yeah,
and then that's saying that some of the, you know, like, if you go on the CDC, it's like all of the deaths. It includes whether you had, like, a cancer or whatever an accident or whatever you died of, including the coronavirus altogether. Those fucking numbers do not really fucking tell me what the hell they're acting like is going on around here. But I don't know, that's just me. But like I said, check it out, CDC.gov and look at the stats. They're all like fucking seem to be like lower than they ever, like, I mean, I don't know. To each their own. I just want, you know, people just be smart. Don't be going out there and fucking licking, you know, your grocery cart handle and shit. Just calm down. But I'm just saying, there's so many fucking things to me that just didn't compute. You know, it's
I hear it's so confusing. Again, it's just impossible to understand what's going on when this person who's leading makes absolutely everything about him. You know, if everything is about him, then how can we really know what's going on? Because we all know everything in the fucking universe isn't about you, Donald J. Trump.
And he disagrees. He does not believe that for 1 minute.
Yeah.
That's when he had that cold-hearted statement. They were like, oh my God, no empathy, no nothing. Just fucking too bad, lady. You know, the doctor that he has up there parading around now. Because apparently Fauci is making him look bad by correcting him, so now he's going with his lady doctor.
Yeah, I hear what you're saying. I see that too.
Jeez, I know, and I'm like, dude, there's like, you're in a conference room with how many cameras there, and you're just all like, but you didn't go right. Like, oh my gosh. Instead of saying, oh, is the baby okay? You know, which, yes, the baby's okay. And they said, no, the baby did not have the virus. It just had a flu, you know.
Mm-hmm.
And still, he didn't even, like, you know, didn't say anything. But it's like she called him out. Like, she was like, no, of course I didn't go, you know, because I'm with, you know, with you, and she was pointing to everybody else around her. She was like, no, I didn't go. And I'm just like, damn, she just verified that his cold-hearted ass said, yeah, you didn't go, right?
Yeah.
Okay, I just want to make sure you didn't go. Like, oh my God. This is what I'm saying, that people better find their sources from someone else and don't follow whatever this fucking quack has to say.
Yeah, well,
Okay.
I agree, Michelle. I think what, you know, Donald Trump, what he has to say is not good information. It's just like listening to Fox News, you know, I mean, or any of the mainstream media. They are there to misinform you. They always have been, apparently, and they are very, very good at it.
So the gotcha fucking news now, man. I gotcha, fucker. You know, it's
Yeah.
like, geez, Christ. Yeah, there's something else, but I don't know. But hopefully everybody will just be smart and just, you know, do whatever's going on, but just know that there are other things that are going on in this world that's going to affect us, not just this year, but for years to come. If they're throwing fucking sludge and all that shit in the lakes and the rivers, and as long as we have this virus, we're going to give them enough time to pollute all of our clean water, we have a problem, and it's not going to be this virus, I tell you.
Well, in Washington State, we're pretty you know, strict about that shit. But I know what you're saying. I mean, it's you know, everything's connected, and it doesn't really matter what state you're in. If the fucking water's polluted over there, it's not long before it's going to be polluted over here too.
That's right, Mike. Hashtag, we're all in this together.
Yep.
I'm sorry. But, shit. Well, all right, Mike. Well, I'll let you go. I just wanted to chit-chat. You're checking out the moon, too. It's a beautiful night.
Yeah, you know, I saw the moon last night. It was so bright. I was like, wow, look at that. And it's supposed to be even bigger tonight. So, supposed to be the biggest moon of 2020.
Yeah, it's supposed to be a pink one, but I'm still, like, in the city, so I can't really see the pink of it.
Oh, it's not supposed to be pink. They call it a pink moon because it's when all the pink flowers start coming out. So,
cool.
Yeah, so they call it a pink moon because of the pink flowers.
Well, it's pretty, and it's like out here, it's just like freaking sunset, because you can just see everything. So
Nice.
It's beautiful.
Yeah, sounds awesome.
But, all right, Mike. Well, thanks for the videos and the show tonight. I enjoyed it.
Hey, it's always better when you're here, Michelle, and I'm glad you're enjoying that sunset, so keep up the good work.
All right, sweetheart. You too. Take it easy.
Talk to you soon. Bye-bye.
Okay, bye-bye.
That's our buddy Michelle from Texas, and I'm all out of videos. We did all of them, including the fucking Tucker video. So, if nobody's calling, I'll give you a minute to call. Nobody's calling. We do this every Monday through Friday at 7 p.m. Pacific time. We'll be back here again tomorrow. Same Mox time, same Mox channel. And just like Michelle, it's always better when you're here. So thanks so much for tuning in. I really appreciate it, because it would be just completely meaningless without you. I'd just be sitting here talking to myself. That'd be pretty meaningless. So I really appreciate it, you guys, and I look forward to talking to you again soon. We'll be back tomorrow with the same live call-in show. Hopefully, I will talk to you then. So until then, remember, one of these days, this war is going to end. Stay cool till then.
No matter which mouth you feed on a two-headed snake, it still shits the same turd. But lucky for you, you have Mox News. More than 10 years. More than 60,000 videos. Mox News has been filtering the nonsense and illuminating the bullshit from your mainstream media. Turn off your TV and turn on to Mox News. For over a decade, documenting the socio-political events that have etched and carved the pathways that define today's modern mess, Mox News has been providing clarity while faithfully bringing you today's relevant stories 100% commercial-free and subscription-free. And just like Lady Liberty vows to remain free. But at this time, we're asking you for your help, your patronage, and your support to keep the lights on and the videos rolling. For less than 17 cents per day, you can become a basic subscriber, knowing that your donation is truly making a difference that will help continue bringing the news stories that make a difference in your life. Turn on, tune in, and drop a couple dimes today by clicking the link below or visiting moxnews.com and show your support at any level. From a single one-time donation or dedicated monthly subscriber, do it now in less than 2 minutes. All donations are safe, securely processed, and verified using PayPal, Visa, MasterCard, American Express, or Discover Card. As always, we're sure you'll find something of interest each and every day. This holiday season, give the gift of Mox. moxnews.com.